Hello, everybody, and welcome back to NCAA 2004. And it is time once again to look at some standings here because today we have an important game against the LSU Tigers, who are currently within punching distance of the SEC West division. If they could beat us today, and maybe even pave the way for Arkansas, who currently sits above them. And then in the eastern side, things are pretty much down between Vanderbilt and South Carolina. But Vanderbilt looking to position themselves with an opportunity to get into the SEC title game. It'd be the first time we'd ever play Vanderbilt. But here is the matchup for today. We are going to look at the BCS rankings. I kind of did this out of order, but currently things sit, us and Texas currently sit at the top, but USC and TSU have also thrown their hats into the ring without any losses. Maryland has suffered a loss here, and then Arkansas also sitting on the outside. Ohio State's kind of out of it now as well. So it's really just down to us and Texas, unless one of us lose, which would then clear the way for USC and TCU. But we need to get through the SEC first, and that requires beating LSU again for the second straight year, in which this game would pretty much determine that kind of implication. I think year number 5 probably also did as well. That close game that we played against LSU. For the last couple seasons, it's been kind of important to win this LSU game. And they spent a good couple years in the middle of this dynasty where that game really didn't matter, and we would beat them every time, despite their record. And finally now they've assembled some good teams in the last 2 seasons that we've kind of had to worry about, as they've kind of been a threat to our late season chances of getting not just to the BCS national title game, but to get to the SEC conference championship game, which we've been to for 3 straight years now. So if we can win today, again, it doesn't necessarily clinch it for us, I don't think. Well, I guess maybe it would, because we would knock LSU out of it, and then Arkansas would be the only team. But I guess because we've beaten Arkansas, we would still have a chance. So I think this game all but pretty much clinches the West for us, whether we lose to Auburn next week or not. So, which I don't think we will, because Auburn's not good once again. But either way, we have another intense game against the Tigers, and LSU's offense has already given up some treasures here, and it's a familiar face. It's Sean Brewer from last year, if you guys remember, and I think he's supposed to be getting chewed out by Coach, but he's intangible, so Coach may just be schizophrenic and just yelling at nobody on the sidelines. It happens, you know what I mean? You start tweaking at Brian Denny, and it just gets to you. It's that air, something about Tuscaloosa air at this time of year, who knows? But cut to a 3rd and 6 now. LSU's defense really trying to limit the damage from Brewer's interception, and pressure comes off the edge, and yeah, that was just an absolute blunder right there. That was Charles Gregory, the junior, our right guard, who just completely stared and watched as the pressure just ran around him. So bring out John Bellamy to try and knock this one through, and I guess we figured out where John Bellamy's range is, and that was a little bit too far as that kick sails right into the end zone grass. That one really did not have a chance. So that interception from Brewer is completely squandered by our offense, as we are unable to add any sort of points or value off of that drive. So Brewer probably a sigh of relief there, but back on offense is the Tigers. It's going to be a handoff now to their running back, Antoine Williams. He's a junior, and he gets a nice almost 20-yard pickup with just that first carry of the day. So nice pickup for LSU. That's going to get him in good field position across midfield. And now Brewer, a quick pass kind of up the seam right there, I believe to Kerry Anderson, LSU's top receiver. He was able to haul that one in here on the inside seam. Just a nice little inside pass. Good positioning of the ball here. A nice throw. So cut to a 1st and goal now at about the 7-yard line for LSU. And Brewer floats this one to the corner of the end zone, and that one is going to be caught for a touchdown. So LSU now, even with an early interception, they managed to answer back here. And I don't have this receiver wrote down. I saw him all game when I was editing, but he was not one of their top 3 receivers on their depth chart. So very, very odd, very interesting. But speaking of running the football here, well, we weren't talking about running the football, but it doesn't matter because Marquise Houston is getting loose here for a huge pickup right up the middle. I mean, that's some vintage fullback football, man. Only NCAA 2004 could provide this level of vintage fullback football. We're not even a fullback running team. It was just a nice little play here. He had blockers with him, man. And Marquise Houston, that's a little bit too much speed for a fullback, if you ask me, guys. That's a little bit too quick for a fullback. But Marquise Houston makes his name heard here in Brian Denny early in this game. So we are tied all up at 7 apiece here, but with just a couple seconds left in the first quarter, we're back on offense, and it's going to be a fumble as Christian Mitchell gets the catch, but he fumbles the ball on the way down to the ground, and LSU is going to land on top of it. We had more than enough guys in the area to pick the ball up, but nobody could, I guess. It was slippery, I guess. Some sweat or butter on the ball, I have no idea, but LSU is going to take over now. as the first quarter comes to a close, as both teams exchange a couple of turnovers in the first quarter. So cutting to late here in the second quarter, LSU has the ball here. Brewer, deep shot down the middle of the field, and it's going to be caught once again by our unknown receiver. I wrote down, I looked at their roster, guys. LSU's got a really rough roster, dude. They have like a 68 overall tight end, like, starting for them. Their fullback is listed higher than their starting running back. Okay, like that's where we're at. I have no idea how this team is as good as they are. I have no idea how they have one loss. It makes no sense. Their early schedule must be very, very easy. I have no idea. So cut to a third and 13, and Brewer is running for his life here. He is trying to find any sense of opening here, and he cannot do it, man, as he is running for his life. And that's Kellen Cunningham, the sophomore, who's able to get the sack here and force the 4th and long for LSU, as they're going to rely on their special teams to take a 3-point lead over us with just a minute left in the first half. So both offenses, presumably pretty high scoring in this conference, have been pretty silenced here in this first half. With just 56 seconds left to go, Stephen Bentley going to try and get the Crimson Tide offense moving here, and he's going to get a huge pickup from Jody Quinn, and now it's a foot race. Can Jody Quinn win it? And he cannot, as it looks like a safety or a DB took a good angle to knock down Jody Quinn, but it's still going to give us a prime opportunity to score here. But cut to a 3rd and 4, and Bentley's going to run the option here. He's going to fake the pitch, and he's going to keep it himself to at least get the first down. Probably could have pitched that when he faked it to Christian Mitchell, and he probably would have got the touchdown. But either way, we're going to get the first down. It's going to stop the clock here, as Stephen Bentley is late getting back under center here, and time is going to tick away close to about 25 seconds now, under 25 seconds. But he is going to snap the ball here. Bentley moving to his left and throws awkwardly, but he does hit Christian Mitchell in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. So we will take the lead over LSU with just seconds to spare in the first half. And after the extra point, the score's now 14-10 heading into the locker room. So we are in a bit of a fight here with the Tigers heading into the third quarter. But we're on offense once again. It's another handoff, I believe, to Marquise Houston. It's Christian Mitchell. Christian Mitchell this time. They both got the 7 at the end of their number, and they're both pretty large guys in the backfield. So Marcus Houston really is kind of built like a running back. There's not a whole lot of difference between him and Christian Mitchell's build. I'd love to see a slender, quick running back, but we haven't really had those here at Alabama so far. So going to go with the option play again on a 3rd and short, and Bentley, I don't know, brain fart maybe, probably could have just kept it and took the hit and maybe got the first down, but no. So sick name, and maybe because that's going to force him back on the field to go for this 4th down, and we do get it as Christian Mitchell just barely gets across the line to gain to continue this drive. So we will stay alive here and with a chance to add some points here on this drive. But cut to another 3rd and 7, and LSU's really not allowing much to happen on 1st and 2nd down for our offense. And Bentley's going to run it himself on 3rd and 7. He said, "All right, coach, I hear you loud and clear. It's time for me to pick this up with my feet." And he does. I don't think we've seen a lot of running. I think the offensive play calling kind of calls for running because of what we did with Tim Lewis in the last couple seasons. But I don't think Stephen Bentley, that's his tendency. I don't think he wants to run, but I guess he can. I guess it is an ability that he does possess. So there we see a little bit of it. So cut to a 2nd and 4, and Stephen Bentley here is going to drop back. Pressure's coming off the edge again, and it's flipped out to Christian Mitchell, who does make the catch here, hauls it in, and he's going to be brought down inside the 5. And so now we have goal to go. So cut to a 2nd and goal now in the I formation. Hand off to Christian Mitchell. He's going to fumble the ball again here, but it's going to get picked up and advanced into the end zone by a big guy. And it's going to be Trey Gilmore, the junior here, our left guard. He's able to pick the ball up here and just kind of, fall forward into the end zone. Literally, he just fell forward. It's a big guy. You're not going to bring him down. But he was able to pick it up and get into the end zone. So 21-10 is now the score over LSU late in the third quarter. Brewers got to get this offense moving somehow. And he flips this one out here, and he finds Dan Dunbar, the sophomore, who hauls that one in here for a first down for LSU. So they're going to continue to move here as the third quarter comes to a close. We hold on to an 11-point lead as LSU's offense was completely silenced in the third quarter. That's typically a game killer if you can't really play in all four quarters, and LSU might be victim of that. But Brewer here with a chance on offense. He's going to dump this one off quickly here to Kerry Anderson, who's just kind of sitting and waiting by himself in the flat, and he's able to kind of turn something out of that play here. It was really kind of nothing, and he turned it into a little bit of something here to get a nice pickup on the ground. So nice play by LSU, getting the offense rolling here. So they're threatening to score late in this game here, and that could make it interesting. That could put it back to just a one-score game here. So cut to a first and goal. Still very early on in the fourth quarter. Now it's going to be a handoff, I believe, to the fullback, Alan Leslie. I thought it was Carlisle. Allen, or no, that was the running back. That was Antoine Williams. So a nice pickup from the running back. And now coach is calling for a 2-point conversion here. Going to try and make this a 3-point game if possible. So Brewer takes the snap here and flips it out quickly. Kind of an awkward play, but it is caught for the 2-point conversion. That was Michael Gordon, the tight end, who was able to catch that right at the goal line. I thought maybe he was knocked out, but they're going to say he was in. So now it's a 3-point ball game with all 7 minutes left of this fourth quarter. Bentley here, deep shot downfield, and all alone is Scotty Mitchell, and he's off to the races here. It's another foot race, and a rare foot race that Scotty's not going to win, as he's going to get brought down at about the 1-yard line. Maybe just another lunge. Put the ball out in front of you, Scotty. Come on. And that would have been a touchdown. So first and goal from the 1-yard line, and we'll give this touchdown to Christian Mitchell, and he can have himself one that he lost because Trey Gilmore had to kind of clean up his mess. And keep in mind, guys, I've edited out a couple of these, but Christian Mitchell's fumbled multiple times in this game, like more than even I've shown. He's fumbled twice that I have shown, and I think there's at least one more that he's had that we haven't shown. So LSU getting down to desperation. They have to get the ball moving any way that they can, and they're not going to do it doing this, as Brewer finds, I believe, Nat Hoover is who he hit on that interception. Couldn't tell if it was a 25 or 26, but I believe it was Nat Hoover who he hit for the interception. So now we have another chance here just outside the 20, or outside the red zone here of LSU, and Bentley moves to his left and throws to his right, and he finds the freshman who had such a heroic play in the last video here to help us beat Tennessee, and he's getting his name checked in here late in the game, but he is here. As Max Price gets himself a late game touchdown against the Tigers to put things not necessarily out of reach here. LSU still has a chance, especially when they're doing stuff like this. Antoine Williams gets into open space, and it's a foot race for him. He's across the 20 and across the 10 and all the way from absolutely nowhere. But that was Harold Frazier, had to come from across the field to bring down Williams on a huge run play. So big chunk run plays has been the theme for this game. We don't typically see a lot of that, but it's kind of been the theme in this game here. Not a lot of huge passing plays. We've had a couple, but cut to a 3rd and goal from about the 5 for LSU. It's going to be a handoff. Finally, the fullback, it's Alan Leslie. I had to look up the sheet. Alan Leslie, the fullback, finally gets into the end zone and checks in for LSU to get a touchdown. So the Tigers are not done yet, man. They're still fighting here, getting into this game. There's still enough time, at least in the fourth quarter, but they got to move faster. It's a 10-point game. If we can score again, that might essentially do it. Stephen Bentley flips this one out here, and Scotty Mitchell hauls this one in. That was a dangerous jump ball, but Scotty Mitchell able to bring that one down. And I call him Scotty. His name's just Scott, but I call him Scotty. I like it better. On the next play here, again, quickly back to Scott Mitchell as Bentley just fires it out there. Just a quick release. Gets another first down inside the red zone for the Crimson Tide. Our offense has just been too much for LSU really to handle this late into the game here. So we get now under 3 minutes. Another score would essentially end this game here as Bentley flips this one out to the end zone in double coverage. Jody Quinn somehow is going to come down with it. I have no idea how Jody Quinn was able to come down with that football, or why Bentley would even take that chance in double coverage. But hey, he did, and it worked out. So we'll take another touchdown. It's pretty much every serious contributor on our offense has checked in and got some points. Even Trey Gilmore has got some points in this game, which is hilarious. So LSU still trying on offense here, but Brewer just cannot seem to get out of his own ways. Nat Hoover again gets himself another interception here. Our star defensive prospect here at strong safety, really just doing his darn thing in this game here. Brewer just does not know how to read that the safety is over top. He just doesn't know. So with time expiring, all we needed to do was kneel, but we're going to hand this one off to Marquise Houston with a huge stiff arm. He's in open space, and it's another touchdown. The clock is at triple zeros. We didn't even need to snap the ball. We had enough time on the play clock. We could have just literally let the clock at triple zeros and ended the game, but Bentley hands it off anyway. And Marquise Houston with some coverage up front here and a huge stiff arm. He's going to get himself another huge chunk play and another touchdown. That's got to be one of the biggest, most productive days for Marquise Houston we've seen in a Crimson Tide uniform. So we're going to run the score up. That might be heard about on SportsCenter. We might see that on ESPN. Controversial taker from Sick Nabin, man. Why'd you guys run the score up in LSU? And it's like, hey, man, this conference game, buddy. This is do or die time, all right? This is for the conference right now, and we are not taking anything lightly against these Tigers, man. They've been a thorn in our side here for the last couple seasons, just an extra game that we've had to kind of sweat about that we didn't used to have to. So, yeah, we're making a statement victory here against the 12th team in the country. So, it's the number 2 team in the country. But the stat sheet really kind of shows just how different things are. It's kind of funny, both quarterbacks played about the same game in terms of completions, but Stephen Bentley a little bit more efficient with his yardage and his bigger plays there. So, LSU even had a better red zone percentage. I mean, only by 25%, but, just something to know. And then, yeah, 5 total fumbles between both teams, only one of those lost. So 5 fumbles. Nobody could hang on to the football in this game for some reason. So, but Stephen Bentley, another great, pretty solid game from him. No turnovers again. No, just token interceptions that we're so used to just like randomly seeing, just a random interception. Marquise Houston, man, what a game. What a game. Scott Mitchell, what a game. Trey Gilmore, what a game. Nat Hoover, what a game. A lot of serious contributors, man. And John Bellamy, I won't blame him for that missed field goal. I won't blame him. So we do manage to beat Auburn and win the Iron Bowl for the 5th, 6th straight year. I don't know. I stopped caring. We don't lose to Auburn. We don't. So we're going to sim through the next couple weeks here to end the season, and that's going to put us in the SEC Championship game against Vanderbilt. So we are going to finally get to see the Commodores in this series. We have yet to play Vanderbilt in the SEC. They're one of the few opponents in the SEC we haven't played, so we are going to get a chance to play Vanderbilt in Atlanta. So hope to see you guys there.